Tensions peaked in the Democratic Republic of Congo, with rebels of the M23 group aided by Rwanda taking control of Goma city and intense violence. The M23 rebels announced the city's capture in a statement minutes before a 48-hour deadline expired that had been imposed by the group for the Congolese army to surrender their weapons. The rebels urged residents of Goma to reclaim or to remain calm, and for members of the Congolese military to assemble at the Central Stadium. Amid the ongoing fighting, Kenyan President William Ruto has urged presidents of Rwanda and Congo to heed the call of peace. Ruto said that leaders of the East Africa Community, or the EAC bloc, had agreed to hold an extraordinary summit to address the current conflict in Eastern Congo.
I call on the parties to the Luanda process on Eastern DRC and appeal specifically to my brothers, President Felix Tshisekedi and President Paul Kagame, both of whom I have had the occasion to speak to this evening, to heed the call for peace from the people of our region and the international community.
M23 refers to the March 23 movement, 2009 accord that ended a previous Tutsi-led revolt in Eastern Congo. It is the latest group of ethnic Tutsi-led insurgents to take up arms against Congolese forces. The group has accused the government of Congo of not living up to the peace deal. The M23 rebel movement, reportedly backed by Rwanda, has advanced swiftly this month in the DRC's mineral-rich but conflict-ridden eastern borderlands. This has raised fears that the fighting could spill over into a regional war. However, Rwanda denies accusations by the United Nations and others that it backs M23. The Congolese foreign minister called the recent incidents in the country as the darkest days in DRC Congo history. Now, the minister called the Security Council to take concrete measures such as sanctions on Rwanda, an embargo on natural resources, and to oversee and end the hostilities.
The Democratic Republic of Congo is going through one of its darkest periods in the recent history, marked by a security crisis of alarming gravity in the eastern part of our country. For several years, the Congolese people have suffered the devastating effect of a planned and systematic aggression led by the Rwanda Defense Force, or the RDF, and their auxiliary M23. Since January 6, 2025, these illegal forces have intensified their attacks, taking over strategic localities, displacing millions of civilians and destroying vital infrastructure and committing massive human rights violations.
As government forces struggle to halt the advancing rebels, the United States, France and Britain pressured Rwanda of its support for the rebels. Thousands have fled the city. The United Nations Security Council met a day earlier to discuss the fighting. Several United Nations peacekeepers have been killed over the last 2 days. Now, according to the South African and United Nations authorities, in addition to the 3 United Nations peacekeepers, 2 South Africans and an Uruguayan and also a Malawian, and 7 more South African soldiers and 3 from Malawi serving in a separate Southern African mission are also killed this week. And for the latest, our correspondent Kalden Ongmu has sent us this report from Johannesburg.
In one of Africa's most troubled countries, DRC, Rwanda-backed rebel group M23 has taken over key city Goma, even though formal confirmation is still awaited. Videos and pictures on social media showed M23 rebel walking in the streets of Goma. UN, that has maintained its peacekeeping force in the country for 2 decades, described a mass panic among 2 million people. South Africa lost 9 of its peacekeepers. 7 of these members were part of the South African contingent deployed in the eastern DRC in December 2023, and 2 other members were from MONUSCO. Statement delivered by South African representative during the UN Security Council meeting said it is crucial for the Rwanda Defense Forces to cease support to the M23 and for M23 to immediately cease all hostile actions and withdraw from occupied areas. This is Kalden Ongmu from Johannesburg, South Africa for WION World is One.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.